I'd like to start by acknowledging the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia and pay my respect to elders past, present and those emerging. Extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people in the room today. I'm on the lovely lands of the Kaurna people over in Adelaide, and it's lovely to be here today. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the wrap-up of IgnitED. It's a great turnout and has been a great turnout across our sessions over the last 2 weeks. And we thank you for joining us today, especially with the timing of Australia versus Paraguay in the World Cup. So thank you for dialing in. Look, IgnitED was more than an event series. It's a live expression of the Workforce Blueprint project, a way of bringing the research, the ideas, and most importantly, that's all. Excellent. Good reminder to stay on mute, friends. Most importantly, the people that shared in this conversation. During the last 2 weeks, we've focused on one thing, what it actually takes to build a workforce that can meet the demand for the energy transition. And at its core, the VET Workforce Blueprint is about one question. Do we have the workforce, the capability, capacity and structure to deliver what the system needs? Over the past 2 years, we've worked closely with industry, educators and government to identify workforce challenges and develop practical solutions. What we've found throughout our research is that the sector is filled with passionate and kind people that are at the heart of VET. A key theme emerging from this project is the real lack of visibility into the actual capacity of the VET system, which is a critical data gap with far-reaching implications. We've made the evidence that we have gathered publicly available, but what matters now is what we do with it. The next challenge is translating all of this insight into action. I'd like to play a short video if I can. Just wondering if anyone can hear the sound on that. No. Kaya, we might run it again with the sound if that's okay, mate. There's always a technical glitch. Good to get it out of the way. While Kaya's working on that, IgnitED was designed to bring people together around the blueprint's findings and creating a space for discussion, to challenge and share learning. Throughout the series, one thing became clear is that our sector is not short of ideas. The challenge is in implementation, so moving successful practices beyond pilots into everyday ways of working. IgnitED was about helping PSO act as a catalyst to innovate and support the sector to engage, develop and sustain the clean energy agenda. Your engagement, contribution and commitment was reflected during the sessions and shows that we're all focused on shaping the future of our energy and VET workforces together. We started strong with the opening session of what the future of energy looks like. What has stood out most is that we are, again, not short of ideas, but what matters is the application, how the ideas are implemented, adapted and scaled across our system. I might move on from this slide, Kaya. We can make the video available in the recording. Excellent, thank you. The first week showcased the partnered framework, so the tools and resources, and we've heard from industry and VET about implementation. We had Kath Druce from CIT join our podcast, sharing her insights into the future-ready energy educators. We also heard Matthew Easterman from Next Now walking us through AI in the classroom on our podcast. And then Matthew joined us for a live session on the future of learning with AI. And we took a deep dive into what this looks like for the VET sector. Partnered reinforced that workforce challenges cannot be solved alone, that we need partners working together to build stronger outcomes from a shared responsibility, collaboration and long-term partnerships. The second week showcased podcasts from Kevin Hayes and his thoughts on taking compliance through to engagement. We showcased the capability framework and talked to people from industry and vet about adoption and implementation. Richard Dorr from Proteus Leadership gave us some of his time in the podcast to focus on leading learning and really highlighting that managers are pivotal to the success of our programs as much as our educators. Finally, we heard this morning about Sparked, demonstrating that innovation is valuable, but lasting impact comes when innovation becomes common practice. At its heart, this is all about connection between educators, between organisations, and across the system. During this final week, we emphasised the need to move beyond short-term initiatives towards approaches that are sustainable, scalable, and embedded as the system. Real impact is created when pilots are adopted and adapted over time. Across the blueprint research, ignited discussions and participant feedback, one message consistently emerged. Workforce challenges are solved through connection, collaboration, and communication. So the most important thing now is adoption. We've gathered the evidence, the tools have been developed, and the conversation has been ignited. But what happens next is how we apply this body of research and this body of work across our organisations, our teams, and our partnerships. There's a lot of evidence and access to the work that we've created through this 2-year program. And one of the strengths is the outputs that are now publicly available. The research, frameworks, tools, and implementation resources belong to you, and we continue to support workforce development long after this series concludes. I just want to take a brief moment to acknowledge the work involved and all of those that have contributed. People have not only participated in this work, but helped shape it. And that includes my amazing team at PSO that have worked tirelessly to support this work. Specifically, I'd like to thank Deb Morris, Melissa Arnold, and Dr. Fahazan Tahir for their amazing impact over the last 2 years, delivering this amazing body of work. Thank you. Thank you for being part of this journey. Over the past 2 years, the Vet Workforce Blueprint has brought together educators, industry, government and system leaders to better understand the workforce challenges facing our industry sector and to identify practical pathways forward. IgnitED has shared the work with the broader community, but the real impact comes from what happens next. We have the evidence, the tools and the network. So now it's up to us to continue to build a workforce that is connected, capable and ready for the future. Once again, thank you all for your contribution to this conversation and to the future of energy and vet sectors. Thank you.